Welcome again to our student success stories, and today we have two very special people. I'd like to introduce Rob and Kathie. Hi guys, how are you going?
Guys.
Morning, Matt and Liz.
Yeah, hi Matt and Liz.
Wonderful to have you. Great to speak to you because you have got an exciting story and we can't wait to share it. Let's start out though. I want to go right back to the beginning because Rob, you didn't even know you were going to come to our workshop originally, did you?
No, I was invited by Kathie. She was a very new friend at the time, and I attended because I wanted to see how SEO might help my businesses. I had a number of operating businesses with websites that added nothing to it apart from a presence. And so if I had an objective, it was to have the phone ring from Perth, the phone ring from Darwin or Queensland to say, hey, I'd like to hear more about your services. And most of them are service-oriented business. That was, if I could have achieved that out of the website, I would have been delighted. Out of your seminar, I would have been delighted.
What we want to talk about today is what's happened in your lives in the last 12 months, what you've been able to do with it. And Rob, like the two of you, total beginners, and now look at the sites you've got, the incomes that you're generating off these websites. It's really opened up your world.
Yeah, I just started dating Kathie at the time, so
we're married now.
I know we do things pretty quickly, but she renovated my core website. So that was her training. So she was able to do that in an environment where there was no harm to be done.
Yeah.
And it turned out she created some really exciting and beautiful looking websites. And the SEO that we learned during the course was real and palpable and started to draw those clients in that I was looking for. So that was the start. Yeah.
And you're happy to talk about the sort of revenues that site's done for you?
Yeah.
Okay, look, Rob's got a number of businesses, right? And one of the businesses we started off with, it was a nothing business,
yeah.
Right? So, of course, it takes a while for the SEO to kick in, right? So I followed Matt's rules to a T. Even when I didn't really understand it, I still thought, okay, well, there has to be something in here, and one day it'll just make sense to me. And before I knew it, we were ranking on the first page of Google for this particular business. It just got better from there.
So for me, that means phone calls. So I'm a bit more pragmatic than ranking on the front page of Google. So it transpired into business. There was a release on super, which helps people get their superannuation savings released for medical or other life emergencies. And that's really become a big cash earner for us. We've had weeks where we've generated more than $7,000 in a week from a business that was plodding along, making $600-700. It was something that was attached to a corporate advisory business I had, so it was very much a second-tier business. Yeah. And Kathie's now bought half of that business, so we bought out my existing partner in it, and it's now a family asset, and it looks good. It ranks well. It has a very loyal customer base. The feedbacks on Google reviews are really good. So if you look at the KPIs that you teach in the course as to things that you need to do to come up with a capable website, we've tried to follow those lessons. And of course, being pragmatic, that's translated into a nice financial asset for us, which has been good.
You guys must be so proud of yourselves. You're getting now $7,000 weeks. And like you said, Rob, it used to just plod along making $600 here and there.
It was just a little add-on to help people to get their money to pay for other things. So
wow.
So we're at the stage now that I've actually had to employ 2 part-time people.
Who are clients? Who are people who release their superannuation?
Clients.
2 beautiful girls, 2 beautiful ladies.
And so they're working with me, and my son, who gets a lot of time off, he wants to come in and work with me. We did some projection figures, right, the other day, and I believe, Rob and I both believe, that within the next 12 months, this business will be generating about $1 billion a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So your discussion that it's a flat line that then has a curve like that in terms of
the graph. Yep.
The graph. So I kept looking at the graph, and I like things to happen quickly. But when the graph happened, I thought, oh my God! And it has a couple of little hiccups, and you go, oh, it's $2,000 I didn't have yesterday, and then it's 3, and you go, and then it'll just be a bit quiet, and you go, because the graph is still just getting its momentum, and you go, oof. And the fact is that we did that, she did that, but we did that. And it's quite good.
The other exciting thing about this particular business is that it feeds other businesses that we've got.
Yes.
Right. So we've got another couple of businesses which are finance in terms of Australian organic fruit, right, which is another business model.
Another website.
But people who have got money in their superannuation, right, quite often we get talking about other things like self-managed super funds, and then it creates another stream of potential business revenue for us.
Yeah.
That's perfect. And also, the other thing that we're really big on teaching, that's an asset that is saleable at some point. And I believe there's that option for you guys as well with that business down the track. Already. Well,
what happened when it was sort of in the flatter sort of part, so we're getting, a call here and doing a file here and there. I had a phone call from a gentleman who happened to be the owner of the opposition. So basically there's 3 big companies, us included, in this market area or this spot. So the opposition rang first up and they said, "Oh, can you tell us who does your SEO?" And I said, "Oh, I do." And they said, "Would you be interested in doing our SEO?" And I looked at Rob, and I would have been quite okay with it, but Rob looked at me and said, "No way."
That was my exact words. I just said, "No thanks." No.
So with that, they continued to pursue us, and they want to buy us out. But all of a sudden, about the same time, and it was around the boot camp, it just sort of started going boom.
Yeah.
Right. And that's when I thought, no way. When you do the math on it, it would be crazy to sell it this time. And I actually love doing it.
Yeah.
I really love working that business because I feel like I'm helping people.
And so, thinking about when you started out, were you technical at all? Did you know anything about this marketplace?
I didn't know anything about building a website at all. And I can remember when I did the first website, I remember we all feed off each other within the group, right? So you've always got that support there. And Adam, right, I'd met Adam at one of the things, and I was ringing him all the time saying, "How do I do this? How do I do that?" So, I wasn't very...
But yeah, that's an important question, because if you take it outside of our story and you look at the group generally, the collegiate nature of the group is sincere, and it's a word that's thrown around in corporate environments. Oh, it's a collegiate environment, but it's a tough environment out there. In your group of people, it's an incredibly generous and well-spirited and nice group of people. They're also highly intelligent and like to do stuff. So we've just had the greatest fun and experience, because it feels like you're working, you're doing stuff you haven't done before. It's a little bit, that's difficult. And then you get on the phone, you have the support with the videos. It's a really good environment for us to do. In 12 months, we've been so busy, and I'm normally busy, but we've done 25 of our own websites during that period of time, which is insane.
Well done.
We have got developers overseas that are helping us. We have other people within your group who help us.
Yeah.
And we were pretty focused and targeted what sort of results we're trying to get. So it's really not a story as such about us, but as to what we were able to achieve out of the group and the lessons that have taken us to where we are right now, which is it's pretty remarkable.
That's fantastic.
For me, like kids will often say to me, "I don't know what I want to do." Like they finish school and they say, "I don't know what I want to do." And I can remember when I was about 45 saying to them, "I don't know what I want to do. I've never found out. I know now." When I came across this, I said to Rob, "This is it. This is what I should have been doing years ago, but I didn't know." I can remember thinking about it a few years ago, but I didn't know how to go about it, right? And I suppose for me, I was in a very fortunate position that I used to work for a company that has a magazine model online, right? So I was doing the travel section in that, so I could see the potential, because I was actually selling advertising space for the magazine, and I could see the potential of how much money you can make with a banner ad, right, a quarter-page ad, right, and all these ads that really cost you nothing in the digital environment, right, to set up on your web page, and they were just raking it in, and I thought, So
Yes. So yeah, right from the beginning, you guys have had an amazing mindset, and I think that's a big part of why you guys almost cracked 100,000 in the first year, which is just incredible.
Well, actually, I think we actually did crack over 100,000 because we didn't include another business that we had, but we've actually closed it down because we found it a bit stressful.
Okay.
And that was peer-to-peer lending,
So it's not
right?
strategic for you.
Yeah, that Rob set up, and both of us we get very sort of, I suppose, we don't want anybody to lose money or anything, and in those sort of environments you can't control it. We were getting so much traffic through that website,
wow,
and that website made a lot of money for us as well in terms of leads.
Yeah, fantastic. And the other one that we should mention as well.
Yeah, the really exciting one.
Really exciting one.
Potentially the massive, big one. Are you happy to share it quickly, Rob? Where it's developed from?
And why the website was important. Yeah. So why this digital skills was so important for that deal.
You've got a lot of people in your group who are middle-aged and creeping above that, so our age group. And so I come from a really strong corporate background, and you get to a stage where you think that you may know almost everything, but you may not. And what I was developing a business, Australian Quartz and Minerals, which is now with Enviro Quartz and Minerals. It's taken a small change at the time that we went to one of our events with you. And if you look at the input that you give procedurally, not just content-wise, you guys are absolutely, you're a unique resource for people. And I've been to many courses where I paid lots and lots of money and come out of it with less stock, motivation and tools than I have out of the courses that I've done with you. Wow. And I was in the process of pitching to take over a quartz lease in Victoria to bring into Australian Quartz and Minerals. It's well over $100 million. And you were going through the structural strategic approach for selling websites to people. And it was at the level that was at a high enough level to actually help me. And I spent those days writing my business plan while she was spruiking a plan for websites.
Based on your...
But your teachings are robust and they're really helpful. And I've been very fortunate over my journey. I've sat down with Neil Armstrong at the IBM times. I sat down with some really great people to help motivate and give me direction. And when I walked out of this, I walked into a hostile environment to try and put to bed a really great resource for my family, for all my business partners' families, and for their children and their children. And I showed you afterwards, Matt, because you just don't know what's happening. You don't know what's happening out there with people who are holding a pen, do you? Because they're writing down some really important things. And the lessons that you gave us during that are applicable at a range of levels. So we developed that website. I wrote it over the test that you gave us that weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's a fine website. But you wouldn't have expected it to have been worth over $100 million at the time that I was plugging it in there and getting it back to you in that time. But it is, and it's signed and it's sold and we're producing, and that's a really good testament to the style of things that people can get out of this. It can take you anywhere. But the website paradigm is a really valid situation. It's been great for us. It's been fun, really good fun.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, any business, right, it's an internet world, so every business should have a website, because it's the first thing that people ask you is, have you got a website? So with this quarry business, it was a relatively new company. It started last September. We already had 2 quarries on board, but this one that Rob has just signed up that he's talking about, the quartz one, this is the jewel, right? And
very much so.
Yeah,
and the largest quartz holding in Victoria.
Yeah, and the people that we were dealing with were very difficult, but we had to, because they own the property. We've got to lease it from them, so we've got to be on the same page. And honestly, the things that you had in that particular segment of your course, right, Rob basically took all those points, put it in his presentation and restructured it around, what he had to say in his environment, and he used that as the basis of getting it across the line.
Yeah. So Matt, what problem are you here to solve? That's what you've always said. So when you're doing a website, what is the problem you're here to solve? So I went there and told them, let's try and find out what the problem is you're trying to solve.
And the other thing that was really exciting was once we had the website up, and it was basically just a very, very skeleton sort of website at first, but we had them on the website.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden they can see themselves, hey, these people are actually real. They're not just talking to us, right? They really want to make this happen.
Yeah.
So it really gave us a huge credibility.
Yeah, fantastic.
Perfect, yeah, and that's the power of a good website. And you guys, I've got to say, the website was perfect for the job intended, as evidenced by the massive success that you guys have achieved out. So really well done. Go Rob. This is why I love Rob. That I still just think I remember when a year ago when I first met you in that event, and to see the website that you created 12 months later. Well, it was less than 12 months. That it was thinking far out. You've really taken the lessons to heart. You've nailed it. As you said, you've come in not from an online background at all, but just with the enthusiasm of yourself and with Kathie there, that between the two of you, enthusiasm has created this amazing website that's just been incredibly successful for you. Big, congratulations to the two of you. You just nailed it. Perfect. Very deserving of our ultimate student Champions Cup.
And so, out of interest, guys, for anyone who is starting out, who may be using your position that you were in 12 months ago, what do you think your key to success was? What made the difference for you guys?
I think with anything, you're always going to be more successful in something if you enjoy what you're doing. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, you're just not going to succeed at it.
Perfect.
And I think for me, I'm definitely a team player, right? So I think your motto of taking in family members, right? Because the hardest thing when you're doing this sort of thing, and you'll explain it through the courses with people, is the naysayers.
Yep.
Right? And, how can that work? Da, da, da. So if you've got someone like your husband or your children, someone in your backyard, right, you talk to them, because if you're the sort of personality type that I am, you need to share it, right? And so Rob and I, we don't really talk to family members anymore. We used to in the other way, but now we just share it amongst ourselves.
Yeah, and
now
people who
people
understand
see
the journey.
Yeah.
People who know the journey, to share it with them, and they're lucky. They're part of the team.
It brings you closer together.
Yeah.
Right? As a family. Right? It really does. Rob and I, this is our home office where we are right now. But, Rob and I will just be sitting there, doing websites or doing something online. I went out for dinner last night, came home, and here's Rob. Right? It was about 10 o'clock. Here he is on the website, fiddling around, and I said to him, "You having fun there?" He said, "I know, it's so meditative." This is a guy doing
That's really good.
All right, that's enough.
Thank you so much, guys.
Guys.
It is just amazing to talk to you, and I'm sure a lot of people have been inspired by your story and your journey. And thank you.
It couldn't have happened without you two. I can tell you that now.
Really, it's true. Absolutely.
It's really, you two rock.
Oh, thank you.
You simplify it, you encourage, and you're not someone who micromanages. You know what I mean? So you let people go at their own pace, and sometimes I can remember in the early stages you would be talking about things and I really didn't understand what you were talking about, Matt. And all of a sudden, that's what he was talking about. It'll come in its own time.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, congratulations again. Really well done. And thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you.